Hi everyone. I've just noticed that I've unexpectedly received 100 free listening hours on the audio app I use, and I have 7 days to listen to those 100 hours, or at least to listen as much as possible. And I'm right now 75% through Amari and the Night Brothers, which is a middle grade book I'm reading for a reading challenge with my family. And I thought, as I have this deadline going on now, I would take you along and see how much of those 100 hours I can actually listen to. I don't have time off from work. I work from Monday to Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I will be able to have some free time. But otherwise, I am going to start listening after work. I've just come off from work, and I am going to do a little workout now, and then I will start listening to the audiobook right now, Amari and the Night Brothers. So come along, I've just started at 100 hours left. Let's see how many I can listen to today. I think I calculated 100 divided by 7 is like 14 hours a day that I can listen for free, but I won't be able to manage that even if I have a day off. But I like listening to audiobooks while I do my laundry or some, traveling around the city to do some errands and things like that. And also while I'm at the fitness studio, for example, just doing some cardio workouts. And so I will manage maybe, let's say, 75% maybe. Maybe I can finish, 75%. But let's see, I will do my best, and I'm especially excited to see how many books I can get read or get listened to. So I'm just listening to, I think, 1.75 speed. Normally I listen to 1.3, 1.5, depending on the narrator, but now I've sped it up to 1.75. Maybe I'll go higher even until maybe 2.5 times the normal speed of the audiobook, because it is a middle grade and very action-packed. It's really easy to listen to in this fast speed. It's not a very poetically written book, or you don't really have to use your brain to understand what's going on. So I think having it this fast as an audiobook will be okay. And as I am 75% through the book, I will be able to choose a new one today, probably, because I hope to finish it today. So let's see what decision I make on the next book that I can read on this app. I will take you along, and I hope you enjoy. I'm at the park now, and I thought I would give you a little update and just some of my thoughts on Amari and the Night Brothers. I'm almost at the end now. I'm not going to spoil anything, but this is the first of a couple of books, I think 4, even maybe 5, I'm not really sure. The action is picking up right now, and there's been a big reveal, which I saw coming a mile away. The thing is, this is a middle grade book, right? And I don't read middle grade that often anymore, or not at all actually. This was part of a challenge to read a genre that, is not usually my cup of tea, or also not my age demographic, right? And I'm wondering, I feel that all of my references are Harry Potter, which is not really middle grade, is it? Or is it? I'm not sure. I know it started out as a children's book, and then it pretty soon got very, adult, what with all the violence and everything. But that's my only reference, and I feel like it's just so much better than Amari and the Night Brothers, and I'm afraid I'm judging it quite harshly because of that. And I'm always wondering, is it the genre Or is it the book? Are there better books in this genre, or is it just something I have to expect if I read middle grade? So it's not like it's badly written. The language is very modern, of course, but it's okay because it's for younger people. But the thing is, Amari just has no, how to say, she never suspects people to be bad, or she's very trustworthy. And that is a bit surprising because her character from the beginning is set up as someone who is bullied at school, and then she finds out that there's this magical universe that she becomes a part of, and there's this ministry that she then goes into. These are not spoilers, I think. This happens at the very beginning of the book. And the people there, she is special in a way, and people don't always treat her well. And she hasn't been treated well at the school before that, where she went to, because she was from a poor neighborhood. She was a scholarship student. And so I think she should be less trustworthy because of the things that happened to her. She should expect people to not be on her side. But I feel like whenever she finds out a secret, she just immediately goes to the people that might be responsible for that secret and she tells them, I know this secret. Now tell me what you know. And I'm like, girl, maybe these people aren't as, trustworthy as you make them out to be. And that's somehow irritating me. And the second thing, this plot twist I just mentioned, this was hinted at like a direct, a direct exclamation of someone. So someone proposed that this was an opportunity, or a possibility, I should say. And she was like, no, she dismissed the possibility. And now that's exactly how it turned out. So if I continue listening, it'll turn out to be a twist within a twist or something like that. But right now, it's exactly as a character in the book feared. So it's very obvious and not very surprising, because someone already mentioned this possibility and she just dismissed it, and that was that. But now it's exactly turning out to be like this. So that is somehow annoying to me, or at least not very well done. I still have some things that I am expecting to happen, and I'm interested to see if it does happen. Some betrayal I'm still waiting for. It hasn't been hinted at that much, but I think it would be a nice twist, and I hope the author decides to do that. But maybe that doesn't happen in the first book. I'm not sure. It's not looking like it's happening as of now, but I still have about an hour left, and I'll finish it while I'm walking in this beautiful park. It is raining, but now the sun is coming out as well, so I'm really enjoying my time, and it's not too cold, so it's a pretty nice walk. I will check in with you later. So I'm just checking in to let you know that I finished Amari and the Night Brothers, and I have 96 hours and 45 minutes left on my account. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I heated up some dinner now, and I'm going to work on a personal project, and I just thought about which book I was going to listen to next. And I have this summer reading list going on, although right now the weather isn't very summery. But I thought I would continue with The Sirens by Emilia Hart, who is the author of Wayward, which we actually read in our book club last year, I think. It was a recommendation or a suggestion that I did, and yeah, it got voted on first place, so we read it, and I think everyone enjoyed it quite a bit. So I'm interested to see what Emilia Hart does in her second book, which is unrelated to Wayward, but again, it's, I think, mixture of literary fiction and historical fiction following 3 women, and it's supposedly, I hope, set at some seaside location, maybe an island, I'm not sure, or at the ocean, and so that's what I would consider summer vibes. But it is, more dark and mysterious, and probably a bit, heart-wrenching. So it's not a fun read in and of itself. and I'll start it now and see how it works out as an audiobook. If I can, still follow the storyline while working on something else parallel. If it doesn't work out, I'll maybe have to choose another book which is a bit easier to read. I'm not sure which one qualifies as that, but I will probably find something on my TBR. So I will check in with you later after I finish dinner and tell you a bit about my thoughts on Amari and the Night Brothers. And yeah, I'll just continue listening to audiobooks now. Dinner is stuffed zucchini with some noodles and pesto, which we cooked on Sunday, I think. Today is Monday, so still nice and fresh. Hey everyone, I've just made myself a hot cup of chocolate and I've set myself down to bed. It's, I think, maybe 8:30, but I've felt my concentration, go down while I was working at the computer, and I decided to leave it be for the night and continue tomorrow. I've made it 2 hours and 20 minutes into the audiobook for not Wayward, but Sirens. And it's really pulling me in. It is indeed rather, well, there is a lot of references to the ocean and waves and ships and the sand and beach and stuff. So it's not really summery because it takes place in like February in the main story. And it is rather a dark story, but still, because of all these references, there's a house at the cliffside and yes, just lots of ocean and water references. I believe, I can really feel those kinds of vibes, and it's really fitting for the kind of summer I'm experiencing right now, because a few weeks ago it was very hot, and I read Every Time I Go on Vacation Someone Dies, which is set in Italy, and it's very warm there, and it really fit the weather we were experiencing very well. But now it's been overcast or raining, and there's rain expected for the next 7 or even 10 days in a row. So it's like 20 degrees Celsius, so it's not very summery. It's rather autumnal, I have to say. And I've just made myself a cup of hot chocolate, so yes, I'm living a pre-autumnal lifestyle, even though I don't really want to yet. I still have some things that I want to finish up on my summer bucket list, and I will get to those. But this book, just really hits this spot, the vibes that is, this rather dark and more rainy summer week or weeks. Let's see how long this continues. So it is really sucking me into the story. The audiobook is really nice, and it's also easy to work while listening to the audiobook, so it's not too complicated. I can follow the story, or at least I think I can. And I'll just continue listening. It's a bit strange to just sit around and listen to an audiobook. I just cleaned the kitchen and, put some things in order, and then it's okay to listen to an audiobook. But if you don't have anything else to do, or you're tired, I'll just be sitting here listening to an audiobook. It's rather strange. I want to have a physical book in my hands, but I really do want to focus on using these 100 free hours. So I will not be picking up a physical book. I will constrain myself, and it's really interesting because the Sirens is 10 hours long, the audiobook, and I've listened to 2 hours now, so I have 8 left. And if I finish this, 10 hours of 100 hours will mean it's only a 10th of the hours I can listen to. So it's 1 of 10 books. Of course, I've used up 3 hours approximately for finishing up the first book. But it's really crazy to think that that's the amount of time I have. Of course, I can't do that until Sunday. It's too short of a time span. But still, if I finish one book in 2 days, 5 hours a day after work, I can do that basically, then maybe I can finish about 3 books. Maybe if I'm continually listening to audiobooks. But I have to say, it's kind of also straining. I felt the need to switch to YouTube and watch something that I can tune in and out of. I think listening to audiobooks on end, let's see. Maybe it'll lead to a little bit of a burnout at the end. But anyway, tomorrow I want to go to the local library that I have here in town. I have some books I have to return, and I love listening to audiobooks while being at a library. So yeah, after work I will probably go there. Before that I will do my workout again, and today I went to the park, and tomorrow I will do a trip to the library. So yeah, I'll be traveling through the city and then listening to my audiobook. So yeah, I'll continue listening to the Sirens now, and hopefully I won't confuse it with Wayward again. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. I'm at my local park, and it's day 3, Wednesday. It's very early in the morning, before work, and I've just finished Emilia Hart's The Sirens, and I must say I really enjoyed it. This really sucked me in, and it delivered on everything that I was hoping for when it came to this summertime ocean feeling. I think because it's such a rather dark story, you could also listen to this in the winter time, or at the beginning of the year maybe, but it fit the mood really well, and that's what I quite enjoy. And you don't know that when you choose a book, right? So I was happy with my choice. I think I will give you a review at some later part today, or at some later point in the day, because I will now start my next book before I go to work, so I don't really have time to make a big review or anything. And I've chosen Lucy Foley's The Midnight Feast as my next read, so I will start it now, and let's see if I enjoy it and want to continue. See you later. Good morning, everyone. I'm not sure what happened today, but it's like 5 in the morning, and I woke up at 4:45 from the rain starting outside and me having to close the window, and then I just got thinking about things and like to-dos or certain events coming up, and I felt like I wasn't sleepy anymore, and so I decided to just wake up or get out of bed. Sometimes when I sleep enough hours the nights before, then I can sleep less one night a week, so it kind of balances out over time. And I decided, well, it's okay, I have the day off today, it's Friday, and I can listen. Sounds really crazy, and I'm probably not going to do that, but in theory I could listen to 10 hours today of audiobook, because now it's 5 a.m. and I'm meeting my brother in a new cafe today, which is also a book cafe, at 3:30, so that's 10 hours. Let's see how that goes. But I thought, as I have the day off and I don't really film on days that I work, as you might have noticed, I didn't film yesterday, I didn't really film on Wednesday, or at least I didn't talk to the camera. I thought I would take you along today because it's my day off and I can manage with the camera and everything. So I hope you enjoy, and I will talk about my plans today throughout the video. I have quite some updates to do. It's raining right now, which makes a really nice atmosphere in the morning. I think I've lit some candles, I made myself a cup of tea, and I just jotted down some to-dos for the day. And the first on that list is to update you guys on how my reading has been going. Or, well, my audiobook listening experience. I last checked in with you all, I think on Wednesday morning. And lots of things happened throughout the week. So I'll just give you a quick review, book related of course. Oh, sorry if the tram stops by and is a bit noisy, hope that's okay. So on Monday, I finished Amari and the Night Brothers while I was out in the park, and I started The Sirens by Emilia Hart. Amari and the Night Brothers I read because I had the challenge of reading a middle grade since the beginning of the year, and so I chose Amari because I saw some videos of people recommending this as a very just a high quality middle grade, and I thought if I have to read a genre of which I'm not sure if I will like it, then I should at least try to read books that, you know, at least have a very high quality or standard. And yeah, I talked about this a little while I was at the park, and as I finished it, I think the twist turned out exactly as I was expecting it. And I'm not sure if that is, you know, something that just comes with the genre because it's written for younger audiences who might not have the combinatorial skills as I do as an adult. But again, I'm pretty sure one shouldn't underestimate the intelligence of young people, so I'm just not sure what I think of that and how other middle grade books are written, especially the like fantasy mystery genre. So maybe, yes, I will have to check out some more books in the future. I'm not sure. I know that there are more than just this one book in this series, but I'm not sure I will continue reading it. I did feel like the world like sucked me in, you know, when you have this fantasy world and you want to continue coming back to it throughout reading the book. That is some parts of this world sucked me in that way. Others I felt were a bit, yes, easily done, but again, I contributed to this to being, you know, middle grade. But still, yes, I enjoyed my reading experience overall. It was a bit predictable, but I liked the trials and like quest structure of the book and this ministry. I especially enjoyed these what's it called? The elevators with their individual personality. I thought that was quite fun. Yeah, so that's that. And then I started The Sirens, and this I finished, let me check my notes, on Wednesday, that's right. So I listened to this on Tuesday mostly, while me and my husband went to the local library. I'm going to show you the books I got on that day in a little while. And afterwards we had some poke bowl in the park, and then we went to our local swimming pool, yeah, that's what it's called, and we met some friends and played some table tennis, ping pong, and table soccer. So that was really nice. We had a lot of fun, but I didn't get much reading done on that night, but that was okay. I listened to audiobooks while I was in bed, so I just lay down, closed my eyes, had one AirPod in, and listened to maybe half an hour of audiobook every night. So I did that on Tuesday as well. But it was a lot of fun, and it was a sunny day because it has been raining for a couple of days straight, and that was the only sunny and really warm day we had throughout the week. So we made the best of that, and it was really summery, though not sunny, but still a bit warmer than the other days, which is very unusual for July in Germany, but yes, that's climate change for you. All right, so then on Wednesday morning, yes, I woke up really early on Wednesday as well. I remember being at the park quite early and making a video for you guys. it was a bit awkward, but I will talk about that maybe in another video. This filming in public is still, it's interesting when then someone walks along the, where you're standing and you're talking to a camera. Yeah. Anyways, I finished the Sirens and started The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. I've never read a book by Lucy Foley before, and this recommendation I probably got from some kind of summer TBR or books to read in the summertime. And I like to mix it up and put it, throw in some thrillers, some horror, some just suspense novels or detective stories. And this, I would say, I guess it tries to be horror-esque because there's a wood and supposedly some creatures in the wood, and the main character is not sure about those creatures and stuff like that, but it's basically a destination thriller, probably. It's multiple POV, so the audiobook has multiple narrators, which I do enjoy. And I'm enjoying the book so. I think from all the 3 books that I've read so far in this challenge, or finished during this challenge, because Amari I started earlier, The Sirens is the one I enjoyed the most, which really, I flew through that book. I was really invested and interested in the story, although sometimes it was a bit, slower or more repetitive. Overall, it was really, really, well done. And then Amari, because of the genre, it wasn't really my thing, but I can, still value it. And then The Midnight Feast I haven't finished yet, so I will finish it today, because I'm like 65 or 75% through probably. So I guess I will give you an update when I've finished it, but so far, yeah, it's okay. Maybe I've read too many books of the same kind to be surprised by what's happening, and I'm also not really feeling any kind of, horror-esque or, I don't know, scared feelings of the things going on, so it's not really, I don't know. I feel like the solution is so obvious that I can't understand why the people in the book are frightened, but then again, it, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Yeah, and okay, yesterday I listened to audiobooks while at the gym. I tried to do some running, but somehow my energy is really low. I have a workout that I want to do today. Let's see, maybe throughout the morning I will do it, but yeah, in a more, toned down manner. Wow, now it's raining really heavily. Cheers to that. Yes, it's a really strange combination of summer and autumn right now, so I'm trying to embrace it, actually. I'm trying to combine autumnal activities with summertime activities. So like yesterday I heated up my heating pad for the first time this spring and summer season, because I just felt a little bit of heat would be nice on my here around my shoulders. And now I've lighted these candles and I'm listening to the rain, having a nice cup of tea. I mean, I've been drinking tea throughout the year, but with this kind of weather, it really, sets a nice mood. But then still I have these flowers right next to me that I got from the market last Friday. And yeah, I'll be watching Pirates of the Caribbean tonight with my husband, because I finished one of the rows in my bingo board, so I have my first bingo. But I will tell you about my summer challenge in a later video. But anyway, I'm having fun is what I'm trying to say. So anyhow, yes, after the running, I also went to the sauna and washed my hair, and then I came back home and had a nice night in. And today I have lots of plans, actually. As I told you, I'm going to meet my brother in the afternoon today. There is a new book cafe, that's what it's called, in my town, which has only English books. And for my city where I live, that's very special, because that's not what you find often. We have a good bookstore which has quite a large English book section, and I only mainly read English, English literature or books in English language. yeah, but having this combination of a cafe and a bookstore is very special for our town. And then the bookstore being only English books, that's really amazing for me. So my brother also reads books in English a lot, so I thought we would check it out today because he has a day off as well. So I'm excited for that. I hope I don't set too high of my expectations too high, but it should be wonderful anyway. And then I want to change some of the plants I have. I will show you when the time has come, but some of them have gone, they've died, and I just need to change them up. So I'm hoping to do some gardening, some indoor gardening today, which is more of a summertime activity, right? So yeah, it's kind of a combination of everything that is nice and cozy and relaxing, but still a bit active. Yeah, I try to combine both things. And then the rest of the weekend is, time-wise, is 50-50. So on Saturday, I will be helping some friends move, so I won't be able to listen in to much of the audiobooks. And then on Saturday night, and this is really amazing, I'll be watching Dirty Dancing with my mom in an outdoor movie night. So yeah, I will take you with me, of course, but it'll be amazing. I have a really nice outfit for that occasion, and I'm just so excited. We did this last year as well, and it's become kind of a tradition, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And it's also nice to spend some quality time with my mom again. And then on Sunday, yeah, we're supposed to have our neighborhood cafe. We have it once a month, nearby where we live. But it's not going to happen on Sunday because we don't have enough people that can help and that can bake because everyone is on summer break. So we're taking the day off of that, and that means my Sunday is free. And I think I would have to check, but I think the 100-hour limit is up to Sunday. So I can still listen to audiobooks on Sunday, I hope. But I will have to cancel my subscription today, because otherwise it will renew and then I will have to pay. But I'm also thinking that I'm really enjoying listening to audiobooks, so maybe I will just renew it. I'm not sure. I will have to make a decision throughout the weekend. So yeah, let's see what I decide. Let's see what my resume is. I forgot something. I continued Pride and Prejudice yesterday. So I was a bit, I needed a change from the mystery thriller genre, and I started Pride and Prejudice on listening to the audiobook on YouTube. And I saw that they had an audiobook with the actress that plays Lady Danbury in Bridgerton, and I was like, okay, that's amazing. I love her, so I thought I would listen to the audiobook on this app that I have the 100 hours for free on. And yeah, I started continuing it yesterday, and I finished it. I finished it yesterday. Yes, I must have, on Thursday, that's right. So I finished another book. It's the same as with Amari and the Night Brothers, though that I started it outside of this challenge, or out before this week started. But anyway, I listened to some hours of that as well, and I enjoyed it. The Mrs. Bennet, the mother of the main character, and also the aunt of the male main character, she did a very high-pitched voices, and also one of the sisters, the Lydia, the very excited one. She did in very high-pitched voices, and that was somehow a bit too much for me. But other than that, I really enjoyed it, and of course I enjoyed the book. I have never read a Jane Austen, so that was my first time reading Jane Austen. Of course, I only listened to it, and at 1.5 speed, if I'm honest. But I enjoyed it, especially the second half. But I think that knowing the plot from watching the 2005 and also 1995 adaptations really helped. So I think if I want to get into Sense and Sensibility next, I will have to watch the movie first again, because otherwise sometimes I'm a bit I just want to things to continue on and to keep going, but of course with a rather a bit slower pace than modern novels. You have to be a bit patient, and if I know what's going to happen, then that helps me be patient. So I guess I will watch the movie first and then continue with Sense and Sensibility, because that's the one I'm most interested in. I know she has like 6 main novels, and I'm not sure if there's a good, way of reading them. But I thought I would just continue with the one. I've already seen the movie a couple of years ago, so I kind of know what it's about, but still. And then maybe I'll do Emma next. I'm also interested in Northanger Abbey, which is by Jane Austen, right? Oh. Anyway, I will write in my diary now, take my supplements, and then I will probably do some kind of yoga. I have a massage ball I can use for everything that is, that needs to relax after a week of sitting at a desk. I want to write my diary, so I have some things to do while my husband is still asleep for probably a couple of hours more. And I'll just enjoy the rain and check in with you later. So I just checked the app and saw that I've now 71 hours left of 100. So I am 25% through the challenge, I finished 25% of the options that I have, basically. And as I will start listening to an audiobook now, I hope to get some hours in today as well, and then on Sunday again. But yeah, I'm not sure I will make it to 50% even. It's just too much. So don't get your hopes up too high. Although, of course, as I'm listening to 1.5% speed, I'm listening to more than real time, right? So for 1 hour real time, I'm listening to 1.5 hours of book time, basically, or audiobook time. So I haven't listened for 25 hours, but for, you can do the math yourself. But yeah, it hasn't been 25 hours of real time. So just to make sure that you understand, I'm not doing anything, you see how I'm not just sitting around listening to audiobooks. But of course, when you're, starting work early and then finish early, you still have a lot of the day left before you go to bed to listen or to read in general. So that's what I try to do, not just for the challenge, but just in general, to have some time in the afternoon to myself to do with whatever I want. So that's the kind of strategy I'm having here. And of course, it's like coincidence that I took Friday off. I did not know this would coincide with this reading challenge. So today should be also a very productive day in that regard. But I hope to get some other things done as well at the same time. Hey everyone, I just wanted to check in with you to tell you that I have finished The Midnight Feast, and I'm now thinking about what book I could read next or listen to next. And I must say it's not easy for me to decide because my options are somehow limited. I have books that I prioritize. I have a list of books I want to read in 2025. I have my library books that I have to bring back to the library at some point. I have new releases, and I have physical books I want to read physically. And some of the books I want to read are not on the app. So there is a limitation. And for all the books that I would like to prioritize, I have not found the perfect fit on this app. So I'm just a bit undecided of how I want to, fill Friday and Sunday. I've now decided to go with The Laws of the Sky, which is only 4.5 hours long. So I should finish it this morning before noon. I thought, that would just be a quick read and one more book done. and it's also on my TBR, but it's not very high up there. It's one of those summery-ish books I put on my radar, same as Midnight Feast, as it is set during a camping trip, but it is, I assume it's a very like horror-esque book set in the woods again. Yeah, it's okay, I guess, but I'm not really excited for it. Unfortunately, all the other books I wanted to read, as I've said, I didn't find there was no option to listen to them, or I want to read them physically. My other option that I found, which interests me a bit more, is the reappearance of Rachel Price. I've never read Holly Jackson. I've not read, what's it called? The one with the mixed media and the Netflix show. Was it Netflix? You're probably all screaming at me. I think those came first. And the reappearance of Rachel Price, I started in a bookshop, I think at an airport or something, and yeah, it intrigued me and it pulled me in from the beginning. So and it's, I think, is it also mixed media? I'm not sure, but it's interesting to me, the like the premonition of the book. And so, yeah, maybe I will start that afterwards. But I'm really, I mean, of course, I've also read Pride and Prejudice, but I'm really on this, like, thriller-y route, and I'm not sure how to get out of it, because it's not like I don't like reading thrillers, but if it's too many in a row, then it's just a bit too much. But yeah, as I've said, I can't find the options that I would like to read, so I will have to make do with whatever I can find. And I don't want to start books that are like 16 hours long, because I want to have some variety and not just read or listen to one book and then only finish it on Sunday. So I'm aiming for smaller books now, which is okay. I just want to make sure I don't get bored or feel like it's a drag, right? I don't want to push myself too hard to. Yeah, just get through the audiobook because I have to use the hours. That's not very sensible. But I hope I will like my next read, and if not, then it'll be over soon so that I can make a more informed decision. Maybe in, I don't know, 4.5 hours or less, I will have better idea of what I want to read next, and maybe also find more options. See you then. Hey guys, I just wanted to check in with you. I just woke up from a nap, actually. Yeah, I think I lay down maybe for 1.5 hours because I was just so tired. I think it's a mixture of, I got up really early this morning and the weather is very like dark and dreary. But yeah, I feel like if my body signals me that I need sleep, I'll just give it some rest. And now it's it continues to rain. It's really un-August-like weather. The grass is extremely green. I've told my husband I feel like we're in Great Britain because summertime there is how I know this kind of weather to be. And I know, for the trees and everything, it's not too bad because they can really use all the rain they can get, so that the groundwater level can really replenish. But I know that the harvest on the fields can't be taken in because it's too wet. So yes, everyone working in what's it called? Landwirtschaft? Agroecology? Working in food production, let's just say, I know that it's not good for the harvest if the rain continues like this and every day is wet and wet again, and it can't dry up. Then it'll be too wet, and then there will be fungi and stuff. I watched is it the 4th season of Clarkson's Farm a few weeks ago with my husband, and I think it was filmed last year, and they had the same kind of weather, where it rained, like, I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but like for 12 weeks on end, and there was just no end to it. So I guess it's not going to be this long here, but they also really struggled with that, so that's kind of how I know. Somehow it's a very educational program, even though probably a bit, how do you say, can be, seen positive and negative, this show. So but anyway, I'm 22% into The God of the Woods. No, The Laws of the Skies is actually the name of the book. I read The God of the Woods a few weeks earlier, that's why I was laughing. But that book is way longer, so no. It's actually pretty good, I have to say. I'm interested to see how it continues. So I will make myself a warm something now, I guess, probably hot chocolate. And then I'll sit down at my laptop or at my computer and do some work. Because we still have to finish up some stuff, just private tasks. And I don't feel really motivated, I have to admit, but I know that I have to use this free time I have carved out today and on Sunday as well to, get going with some of the tasks, because otherwise I'll just have to do it in the future. And one of the tasks is quite repetitive, so I can listen to some audiobooks throughout without losing concentration, so that should be okay. Yeah. Still have no real update on the book I will choose next. Sorry. Still not sure which one I will pick next, which book. I will have another, minute to think about that, while I still continue listening to The Laws of the Skies. Let's see. I thought that maybe because we're watching Pirates of the Caribbean tonight, I should listen to something related to pirates. But then I already read Sirens this week, so that kind of connected to that, and not in this very cliche way. I have this book by Adrian Young, Fable, but I think it's YA, and I'm not really feeling a YA narrator or main character. Because sometimes they just make stupid decisions, and I'm like, no, stop making stupid decisions. And yeah, I'm not sure I can deal with it right now. So let's see what other options I can find on this app. Maybe I will also switch to a German audiobook. I'm sorry if the books that I then choose are not really, something you can relate to, but let's see what I will decide. Yeah, I'm probably like over halfway through The Laws of the Skies, and I think the kids in this book are like 6 years old, and yeah, it's probably not a spoiler to say that very bad things happen to them. And if I had a child, like if I were a parent, I don't think I would be able to listen to this. As I'm not, I can somehow kind of keep a certain distance, but I don't know, just thinking about the fact that the author sat down, and when you write a story, at least when I write a story, the whole thing plays out in my mind, and I write down what I see in my mind's eye. And just thinking about the person who wrote the story, imagining all of these things happening to 6-year-old children, and then thinking to himself, let's write that down and publish a book about it. I'm not sure. That's not really the kind of horror I mean, I can't really, I'm not saying one should not publish a story like this. I don't want to censor any books. But yeah, one needs I need a certain kind of mindset to be able to consume this kind of story. And I'm okay for now, but at the same time, I'm not okay. I've read a few slashers. Last year in summer, I read You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, which I really enjoyed. I also read The Lake House by Sarah Beth Durst, which I also enjoyed. And I started Heads Will Roll. And they all fall in the same category, right? It's a very isolated destination that they go to, but they are adults. And this is basically the same thing, but with 6-year-old children. Yeah. It's kind of traumatizing, I have to be honest. Yeah, I hope that, there should be some more trigger warnings, I think. My audio app didn't have any trigger warnings, and I'm not going to describe it too much, but I don't know. You know how you can be in the mood for horror because you are like, you want to have that kind of feeling of this, shiver going down your spine, or this fantasy of something truly horrifying happening while you're safe yourself. And that's probably okay with adults, but with children, it's the same with animal slaughter or things like that. But I don't know. That's my update for you. I guess I will finish the book now while hanging up some laundry to dry. Yeah. It's definitely on a different level than the other books I've mentioned. So if you want to get into summery horror vibes, maybe don't start with this one. Start with the other books I've mentioned.
Der größer war als sie selbst. Dann haben wir so 6, 7 Kinder, die da an den Tisch rum standen, wo ich das aufgefangen.
Hey guys, I just wanted to check in. It's Friday night and we're starting our movie night in a few hours. We're preparing dinner right now and I'm almost finished with The Laws of the Skies. I filmed some video clips in the book cafe, but they didn't turn out that well, so I'll have to see how I can include them in this video. But anyhow, it was really nice. We enjoyed our time there. The drinks were good and they had an interesting selection of books. There were lots of customers, so I think the place is doing really well for itself. I've actually came across a book there which I saw also on my audio app, so I know I can listen to this, and it got me really intrigued, and that is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have never read a Taylor Jenkins Reid before, so actually most of the books I read in this vlog are books of authors I have never read before. So the plot intrigued me, and when I saw that I had it as an audiobook available, I thought, okay, that could be a nice option for probably the last book of this vlog. So I'll take you along tonight when we watch the movie and have a very pirate ambience movie night. And I guess I will start Atmosphere before I go to bed. I have 20 minutes left of The Laws of the Skies, so I'll probably finish it while cutting some of the vegetable we need tonight, and then I can start Atmosphere before I go to bed. keep you updated. Hey guys, I'm at my local park today again. It's the middle of the day, Sunday, and I'm also in the middle of Taylor Jenkins Reid atmosphere right now. I'm again shifting my place to not get seen by locals because I'm still not used to talking to a camera. I always pretend like I'm on a video call just to make it less awkward, but then I'm talking in English, so some people might still stare. But anyway, it's the last day of this, challenge, I suppose, and Atmosphere will be the last book that I'll be reading, and I'm pretty sure I won't get to like 50% of all the hours that I have been allowed to use by my app, but it's been a great week of reading anyway. I think Atmosphere and the Sirens are struggling for place number 1 on my list of the books I've read so far this week. But I think Atmosphere is going to make it probably. Again, like with Sirens, I'm pretty much sucked into the story. I don't feel like I want to stop listening. With some audiobooks I had this, like for example with The Midnight Feast, I switched to the audiobook of Pride and Prejudice in the middle of Midnight Feast, so that was because I wanted to change things up a little bit, which points me to the fact that the book wasn't really for me, not as much as The Sirens or Atmosphere, which are both books that I'm listening to in quite short amounts of time. I think I started Atmosphere on Friday, and I could listen to it. Yes, I started it Friday night, and I listened to some of it on Saturday morning. But then yesterday was Saturday, and we helped with a move. And afterwards, I was really, I felt really tired. So I took a nap, and then I had to meet up with my mom. We went for dinner, and we then went to this outdoor movie night in our town and watched Dirty Dancing. And there was also a after show party afterwards, so we did some dancing on the dance floor as well, which was really nice. They played the soundtrack of Dirty Dancing, and if you know, you know. It's just amazing. And so we had a really good time. But that means I didn't get to do much reading other than that, and I continued this morning and hope to finish it today. So I have maybe 5 hours left. So I guess I will give you a resume of my reading week once I am truly finished with Atmosphere. And I have continued my subscription to this audiobook app with I think 20 hours a month. I will have to check again. And I chose because I chose to leave again, the app again proposed a discount to me, so I paid half price, so like €5 for 20 hours a month, which is fine with me. That's my update for you. I'll check in with you guys once I'm finished with Atmosphere, and I'll give you some more of my thoughts then. See you. Whew. Ay. Wow. I think one of the most, telltale signs of an amazing book is when you just live through so many emotions, and especially the ending of this book had me on a true roller coaster ride of emotions. This of course is spoiler free, but yeah, if you want to experience true emotions through characters in a story, then this would be a high recommendation. I think I love the combination of incredible storytelling and suspense, characters that were really well crafted, which you could relate to on so many different levels. I was furious with some of them, which only made me realize how well written they were, because they could make me feel these things with some of their behavior. And then others I admired and felt myself strengthened through their struggle and through their experiences. Wow, yeah, okay. Taylor Jenkins Reid is a really good writer. I remember in a bookstore picking up Daisy Jones and the Six, and I wasn't sure about it, maybe because of the format, because it starts out as an interview. But I maybe have to give it another try, or Julie Soto is back, or something like that, because this was, wow, really amazing. I can highly recommend it. And I learned so much about like space travel and the stars, astronomy, but in a really, the facts were woven in really well into the story, so it wasn't, too much on the nose or too heavy on the, I don't know, physics or something like that. So yeah, it was really well done overall and very touching. I'm pretty sure there are lots of TikTok videos of people sobbing at the end of the story. Yeah, no, that was an amazing choice. I'm happy I went to that bookstore and saw it and picked it up, and that they had the audiobook on my app as well. I listened to it in German though, but with this book I don't think it made much of a difference. And I'm glad that I could listen to the audiobook as well. I think it's a good one for listening to on audio. Yeah. So I will be going for a little walk with my husband now, and then I will probably check in with you guys later in the evening to finish off this vlog. 1 week of filming. It's been pretty interesting, and I hope it's okay that I film like, exactly as I am. I don't, try to kind of redo my hair or get rid of the blanket, or I don't know. I hope that's okay. This raw version of my thoughts after finishing this book. Yeah, wow. And I will check now, but before I finished this book, I was already at like 54 hours of 100. So now I think maybe I'm down to 50. So this morning when I said I didn't think I was going to get to the halfway point, I actually miscalculated. I hadn't looked at the numbers in a longer amount of time, so I wasn't sure. I did not have an overview, but yeah, I checked a few hours ago and I was like, oh wow, I've listened to so many hours already. That's amazing. So maybe I have hit the 50% mark now. Yeah, but anyway, the amazing thing is that on Friday this week, we're actually going to a viewing platform where you can look at the stars. And it's really amazing because it wasn't even on my mind when I started this book that it relates pretty well to my audiobook. And so that's kind of amazing. I love, using different media or experiences to think about or learn about one certain topic. Yeah, so that's pretty amazing, and I'm looking forward to that. And maybe, I can relate to some of the things that I learned in this book. Anyways, see you later. I will check in with you again to close out this vlog. Hi guys, good morning. It's Monday, the next week. I didn't get to do a wrap up yesterday, but I'll be doing it tonight, I promise. I just saw that my audio hours are back to 20 a week. 20 a month. So I noticed that I was thinking, let's just listen to the audiobook for Lessons in Chemistry, which is what I started yesterday night after wrapping up Atmosphere. But then I kind of thought about it some more, and I felt like I've been, I think, listening to like 30 minutes of the audiobook for Lessons in Chemistry, and I felt like it was, somehow similar in topic matter, because it's set not in the 80s, but I think in the 60s or 50s, I think. And it's about, a woman in STEM and a mother and things like that. But the way the story is told and the writing differ quite a bit, and I'm not that much into it as I was into Atmosphere. So now that I only have 20 hours a month left, I noticed that I was beginning to be more particular about which book I would use these hours on. And I thought a bit more about it, and I did some research while I was brushing my teeth this morning. And there's a new book coming out by R.F. Kuang, the author of Babel and Yellowface, which is called Catabasis. And it's coming out, I'm not sure when it's coming out as a physical book, but as an audiobook on my audio app, it's coming out on the 26th of August. And my limit of 20 hours a month is until the 2nd of September. So I'll have to look at my calendar, what I'm doing between those days, the 26th of August and the beginning of September. But if I have enough time and it's realistic for me to listen to this audiobook, then I will save my hours for this new release that I really want to read, and which is also on my 25 and 2025 list, because I also included new releases. Yes, so it's on time. It was set for August and it's getting released in August. So good for you, R.F. Kuang. So that's what I decided. I will now have to find out how long the audiobook is, and then I can listen to 20 hours minus the length of that audiobook before the 26th, because if I save all of my 20 hours between the 26th and the 2nd of September, then I might not finish all of my hours, and I want to do that. So I will maybe try to find a book that fits that length, or start one and then finish it after I listened to Catabasis next month. So I guess that's my plan, which means that I'll be closing out this audiobook content tonight. And this week I will start with a new challenge, which is to read all the books I have rented from the library. So I will take you along on that ride as well. I won't be finishing as many books as I did last week, definitely not, because I'm very much slower reading physically than 1.5% speed while I'm, brushing my teeth and lying in bed and just commuting. So listening to audiobooks is much more, you can do it in so many different situations, whereas a physical book I won't be bringing with me. Let's see how many I can finish, but I'll tell you more about it tonight when I'm back from work. See you then. All right, the week has finished. I don't have any more of my 100 hours left in my audiobook app. It's been set back to 20 hours a month. So I've done what I could, and I'm here to give you a little overview of my statistics and to talk about the books that I've read, especially the ones that I have not yet really did a review on. So let's look at the statistics together. All right. So first of all, of the 100 hours, I finished 47 hours and 8 minutes. So I still had 52 hours and 52 minutes left. And this was on Sunday night, 9:45. So I think I maybe listened to half an hour more. I started Lessons in Chemistry that evening. So I didn't still get to the halfway point, but I made it almost there, and I'm glad with the books that I chose and what I read. So let's have a look at those. I have an overview of how long they were, so how many of the 100 hours I used up on which book. So first of all, I finished up Amari and the Night Brothers. This was quite a long audiobook originally, I think 16 hours or something, because it's quite a large book. And I finished it using 3 hours for this one. And I gave you quite the detailed impression of this book, so I won't talk about it too much. Next, I decided to veer off into, I would say, magical realism fiction / historical fiction with The Sirens by Emilia Hart. I gave you a review on that as well. This was one of the best books of the week, and I can highly recommend this. And I think I will continue reading Emilia Hart. She's a really good author. Then after that, let's see. After that, yes, I started The Midnight Feast. So this was on Wednesday morning, I think. Yeah, must have been. This I didn't enjoy as much. It kind of sucked me in. I liked reading the story, but it wasn't as good as other books of the same kind I have read, which I've talked about already. I gave you some options that I liked more personally. After that, in between listening to Midnight Feast, I also continued with the audiobook for Pride and Prejudice, and I listened to 6 hours of this. So quite a large chunk of my hours also went into listening and finishing up Pride and Prejudice, which I enjoyed as well, and which was also very nice to read on audio. I have to say, that kind of surprised me. Then, let's see, what else did I listen to? When I finished The Midnight Feast, I was kind of struggling to find options, so this was Friday at noon. I had a day off on Friday, and I needed a new audiobook. So I decided to go with The Laws of the Skies, 4 hours and 30 minutes. So this was a very short audiobook. And I gave you my impressions after I was halfway through, I think. And now that I finished it, I think on Saturday or maybe on Friday. I think I finished it on Friday, yes. Shortly after I came home from the book cafe, that's right. What I enjoyed about the book was the character study. So the children were, the things that happened to the children were very different, or like there was not much repetition, and the children were characterized quite differently, and the positions that they found themselves in. And I think the character study part of that really intrigued me. But as I've told you, yeah, it's still children and horror with children, yeah. I guess I understand how it got published. I think the writing was good, and I think I would read another book by this author. I have never learned French, so I'm not going to try, but I think it's Courtois. Maybe it's not even French, but I think it should be. I think I would try another book by them, but not in the near future, I think. And what I've noticed is that I'm veering more and more into horror. I also started Heads Will Roll on my ebook, and I will continue this after this week is finished that we're in now. And I've noticed that today I was at a bookstore and I also had a horror in hand, so I noticed that I've been drawn to horror as a genre in general more often lately, so that's quite exciting, I think. Yes, and then I started the last book that I read for this challenge, which was, of course, the newest release by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Atmosphere. I listened to this in German. After seeing it in the bookstore, I went to with my brother, and I think that's really exciting. Seeing a book one day and finishing it 2 days later. So I finished it on Sunday. And I really enjoyed that audiobook and the book in general. I think it was very fascinating. I love the characters. I told you I was really emotional at many points of the story. The aunt-niece relationship was so well done. I think the characters were fleshed out really well. I really enjoyed the dynamics in the team of the astronauts. And of course, the main love story I enjoyed as well. I understood the characters and how they acted. So the reasoning for what they did were really well explained through their characterization. So overall, I think that was a really well crafted book, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I can really recommend it highly. So this, along with the Sirens, was really my highlight of the week, and I'm so glad I found those books and I read them. So overall, I think I did so well with this challenge. I'm really glad I'm continuing with this audio app. I know I haven't mentioned it because, of course, it's not sponsored, but I guess it won't hurt. It's BookBeat. You've probably heard of this app before. And yeah, I can recommend it. I think it's probably a different, you will probably have different choices depending on which country you're living in. In Germany, I sometimes have to switch to German audiobooks because they are not available in English, which is fine for some books. For others, more poetry, more literary fiction, or like literary poetic way of writing, I would want to read the original if I can understand the language. So some books, I want to listen to or to read in English. But then I have other options, right? I don't have to consume every book through audio. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I really enjoyed my week, and I'm interested to see how my next weeks will be. I have this library challenge going on at the moment, and I have some really interesting books on my radar for August as well. And I'm actually really enjoying the possibility of reading more spooky autumnal books as well, starting September probably, because it's been so rainy. I know the sun is shining right now, but it's been so rainy. So my mood has been really shifting from this more summery vibe to really, autumnal, cozy literature. But I'm still not there yet quite. So I'm not quite ready. I still want to continue with the summery literature actually, but the weather isn't really providing for that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you, with my next content. See you then. Have a good time.